Today I'll be making Giyu Tomioka's favorite simmered salmon and daikon dish. Let's get started. This is Giyu Tomioka, the water Hashira. Underneath his cold exterior lies a deep sense of responsibility and dedication to his duty as a demon slayer. This will probably be a good time to mention that if you haven't seen Demon Slayer yet, there will be spoilers in this video. And what the heck is taking you so long to do so? Despite all that, during his encounter with Tanjiro, he decides to let him go along with his demon sister. He witnesses Nezuko's unnatural behavior, protecting Tanjiro even as a demon. He even goes to the lengths of risking his own life for them. Let's review what we know. Giyu is the water Hashira. His favorite food is simmered salmon and daikon. He has a reserved personality and strong sense of justice. You may notice Giyu wears a dual pattern Haori. This is to honor his late sister, Sukato, and a good friend, Sabito. So I'll be recreating a rendition of his favorite meal, salmon and daikon, along with butternut squash and zucchini, cut into geometric shapes to resemble his Haori, all simmered in a delicious mentsuyu. Begin with peeling your daikon, top and tail. Square off the vegetable and cut into diamonds, or lozenge cut. Repeat this step with the butternut squash. Cut a flat edge so it doesn't roll around while you're cutting, and make sure your knife's sharp. One more time with the zucchini. Only difference here is that we're removing the seed cavity. This will ensure that we get an even cook later on. Let's make our mentsuyu. Moving on to the simmering liquid, add 500 milliliters of water into a pot with your kombu and bring that to the stove to a little simmer. Make sure not to overboil this, otherwise you can alter the taste of the seaweed, causing it to become bitter. To that, add your bonito flakes and set aside for 15 minutes. Strain your dashi. Make sure you squeeze out all that umami goodness. To that, we'll add 45 milliliters of soy sauce, 45 milliliters of mirin, and 45 milliliters of sake. Give it a mix. And that's our simmering liquid. Pour it back into the pot. And we're gonna start simmering our vegetables. Once your liquid is simmering, add in your zucchini. It's important not to overcook your zucchini, otherwise there's a chance of distorting the color. Also, who likes biting into a mushy vegetable? This will take around 2 minutes. Repeat the step for the daikon, you're looking around 4 minutes. And one more time for the squash, you're looking around 4 to 5 minutes. Set these aside and we can begin braising our salmon. A tip to searing any fish without having it stick is to get your pan smoking hot before adding anything in. It's also important to have your fish tempered, which basically means adjusted to room temp. This way you're not cooking it straight out of the fridge and your cold fish won't drastically affect your oil temp. Only when you visibly see smoke coming off the pan, add your oil. Season your salmon with salt. Now, one thing I like to do when searing a fish skin side down is to gently move the fish around the pan so you don't shock the skin and risk tearing it. Just like any guy going into a pool they don't know the temperature to, you go around feeling with your feet and hands before the water reaches your nether region. Works for me 100% of the time. To that, we're slowly gonna add our simmering liquid. Be careful since the pan is hot. This will splash back and have you scrubbing your stove for the rest of the afternoon. Go halfway up the salmon on a low heat. Continue cooking for another 4 minutes, or until you feel your salmon is ready. Remove from the liquid and set aside. Leave the pan on and let reduce for another 2 minutes. Look at that. Now, time to plate this up. Meticulously place each vegetable to represent the geometric pattern of Giyu's Heiori. This is where things get tricky. We'll see how well I cut these shapes earlier. Originally doing this, I was pulling my hair. I definitely recommend using a reference picture when cutting your diamond cuts, but life goes on. Next to it, place your beautiful piece of salmon to represent his sister's Heiori. Pour that hot mansuyu over the plate and finish with a little bit of herb oil. And there you have it, my take on Giyu's simmered salmon and daikon. Time to taste. It's so cringe reacting to my own cooking. In all honesty, this dish was very refreshing and light. It would pair really nicely with some rice. The sweetness from the caramelized mansuyu that coated the salmon, the crunchiness from the vegetables, and that umami-rich broth that I could probably drink by the gallon. I definitely recommend giving this recipe a try, and if you make it, do let me know in the comments down below. Well, how do you guys think I did? Would Giyu Tomioka approve of this dish? Let me know in the comments below which hashira you'd like to see next. For more behind the scenes footage, check out my links in the description. I can't say that. It's too hard. For more behind the scenes footage, check out my links in the description. Thank you for tuning in to my first ever gastro anime video on YouTube. Now if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna stuff my face.
"そんなだからみんなに嫌われるんですよ」